on, I clicked the button too quickly. Hope everyone is well. If this is your first time with the channel, you are watching Learning English Pro. My name is Jer. Let me just get myself set up. A little bit too eager to come on. Is the light on? Lighting on? I think the light is a bit low. Let's just up the light here in the background. Hope everyone is well today. I'm even going to give my camera a little bit of a wipe because it looks a little bit like something's happened there. There we go. Beautiful. Well, I'm not beautiful, but you are all beautiful. How's everyone doing? We're doing a quiz today. And before we do the quiz, I'm going to leave up this little riddle for you all to have a look at. It's guess the country. A little bit of a tongue, not a tongue twister, a mind bender. Can you guess the country? And I'll reveal the country name just before we begin the quiz. So I'll just wait for a few people to jump on. I'm going to up a few things here. How is everybody doing? I'm doing well. I was in my kind of workplace today where I work, and I was doing lots of filming for social media and stuff like that. So hi, Sai, how are you? Hi, Eddie. Sparkles, smiles, and endless blessings. Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali to you. Happy Diwali to all my Indian followers and anyone who follows. So yes, actually, I might actually pin that in my pin that in the chat for Happy Diwali. Hi, Sujania. Oh, great guess. So I'm going to reveal the answer right after, just right before the quiz. I'm going to leave that up here as a little intro puzzle for everybody. So hopefully everyone can see it. Let me know your hi, Arabica. Happy Diwali to everybody. I'm going to pop that into the chat. And I'm going to pin it as a pinned comment. I should have put some emojis with it. So yeah, happy Diwali. Let me know how you're celebrating, if you're celebrating it today. One of my friends is Indian. He was at a party on Saturday, just because of how it falls. Him and his Indian expats all got together. So yeah, happy Diwali to everybody. And yeah, it's a Monday. It's a good day. I think I'm a bit bright. Am I too bright or too? I think I'm okay. And yeah, all very good. Good busy day in work. I hope you all had a lovely day, or if the day is just beginning for you, if you're on the other side of the world, or if it's just ending. Hope you had a really good time, or have a good time, or have a good Monday. And we're going to go back and do lots of vocabulary today. We're going back. I did the Marvel quiz yesterday with Game of Thrones and Marvel and Minecraft, and no one really liked it. So I don't think I liked it, to be honest. Um, in Kolkata, we worship goddess Kali to celebrate her divinity around the world. Feminism. Very good. That's very interesting, Sujania. Thank you for sharing. Kartik Kumar, hello to you. Happy Diwali to everyone. Wonderful. Thank you all for joining. And yeah, we're going to have a great quiz today. The focus is on one of my topics on the channel. We're going back to medical English. So really useful for doctors, nurses, anyone inclined towards working in healthcare, and just really general English that you really should know if you're working with English people, English speaking people, or traveling to an English speaking country. We always need to know medical words, don't we? You never know. Take it as someone who knows. One year, I ended up in the hospital 3 times in 1 year for 3 separate things. I hadn't been to the hospital since I was like 6 or 7 or something. And yeah, so you never know when you're going to need medical English vocabulary. So this quiz today, I have about 40 slides, and you're going to see the image, and you're going to give me the answer in the chat. So yeah, all very good. And yeah, just while we're waiting, have a guess. Sujania was in with the guess already. And can you guess the country? It's a little bit of a riddle. Let me know in the chat, and I will reveal the answer just before the quiz starts in a few minutes. I'll just wait for a few more people to come on live. And yeah, so Kartik Kumar is guessing that as well. I'm not going to read out the guesses. I'm just going to let you have a little think for yourself. I'll reveal all in a few minutes. So yeah, let me know what you're up to today. After I finish the live, I'm going to Arabica. Very good, very good. I see there. Kartik, yeah. Turkey. twerky? Is that a place where everyone twerks? So we have some guesses in. So I'll just wait for a few more people to join and then I'll reveal the answer. So have a guess in the chat and let me know what you think it is. Makta, hello to you. I see a turkey emoji. It's very, very interesting. I gave the first. Sujana was in with the first. Heading out for Diwali festivals. We'll join tomorrow. Eddie, have a fantastic time. Eddie's one of my student members, very valuable member of the crew. So have a very happy Diwali festival, Eddie. I wish everyone a happy Diwali. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the festivals. Enjoy the food. Yeah, think of me when you're eating that food, and tomorrow report back and let me know what you got up to. I want to hear all about your Diwali in your best English. So yeah, happy Diwali to all my Indian followers and anyone who is celebrating. And yeah, we're going to have a good day. Stabworthy, is this the famous Jer from Learning English Pro? Hi, I love your shirt today. Thank you so much. I'm a little bit more casual today. And Stabworthy and we've had a bit of a connection, Stabworthy, haven't we? I had a look at Stabworthy's live stream with the beautiful dog. If you're going to tell everyone the dog's name, because I just love it. And I watch you walking in the park and having a chat. I watch you coming home in the car. And then I heard a great shout out. So yeah, tell everyone about your live stream and your dog and the walks. And I will read it out. But definitely everyone head over to Stabworthy, check out their channel, check out their lives. Really, really interesting. Is it the end? No, we're just beginning. We're just beginning. And yes, Beefy Dog. I wanted you to say it. Beefy Dog. And a female, a really, really interesting name. Beefy Dog. I love it. And yeah, really good watching you walk around the park. So, where are you from, Stabworthy? I would love to join your live. Yeah, so Stabworthy, give your bit of information there. And yeah, sometimes we call her Hot Dog. That's very, very, very cute. So I think Stabworthy, you're in New Jersey, isn't it? So yeah, if you join Stabworthy for his lives, he will bring you all around the park with the dog for a nice. It was an hour, I think, altogether, and then the drive home was about 10 minutes. So yeah, thanks for letting me watch. Great to see Beefy Dog or Hot Dog. Beefy Dog is very, very cool. So it's nice to have a little bit of community all together. So we're about to start the quiz. And does anybody else want to jump on and guess what this country is? It's a little bit of a riddle. We have a number, a letter, and an emoji here. Can anyone guess what this is? And I will reveal. We've had a few guesses already. So, oh, hi, Patty. I think you're new here. Welcome to the channel. So, yeah, great having a chat about Beefy Dog. I think Beefy Dog might be another channel mascot. One of my mascots is Brainy, who I'm going to pop into the chat. If you're a student member, you can use those emojis. So, what is the answer to our puzzle? Okay, so, oh, we have Makta in with Vietnam. I will take it. Okay, so before I start the quiz, let's just go through what the guesses were. So lots of guesses were Turkey. Turkey. And I have to say, Sujania was in first, one of our first viewers today, one of our regulars here. Thank you, Sujania. And yeah, everyone was pretty correct. Kartik, Turkey. Makta had a turkey emoji. And yeah, why is it Turkey? So we have a to, an or, and a key. So say it really fast. To or key. To or key. To or key. Turkey. Turkey. So well done to everyone who got that right. Well done. We might do a few more of these in the future. Sai KTK, yes, well done. Turkey. So well done, everybody. Are we ready to start our quiz? We're doing medical English today. Lots of really interesting for everybody. I think medical English is really important for everybody. You know, you never know when you're going to be in hospital. You never know when you're going to need some English related to describe a medical condition or something that you need if you're in a pharmacy. You just never know. So some of these are tricky, some of them are easy. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a tricky one. So our first image. So I know this is the eye. What is this part called? Okay, so this is a diagram of the eye, and we have a connection from the eye to the brain. Okay, the eye really is part of the brain. But what would we call this bit, this connection to the brain? Can anyone tell me? I'm starting with a really difficult one today. So, Magda, yes, this is the eyeball. This part here. So, we have the eye, and then this part is what we call the eyeball. We have some muscles here around the eye. But what is this part called? This part that connects the eye to the brain. Okay, eyeball. That's a tough one. I know, Kartik. I'm challenging you guys today, but there will be some easy ones. Eyeball tail. I love that. A nerve. Hi, osseous. Optical tissue. You're very, very close to Jana. But Kartik is in with the correct answer, and so is Sai. An optic nerve, okay? An optic nerve. This is the part of the eye. So anything relating to the eye is optical or optic. The subject is optics. So this is a nerve. We have a nerve. The nerves are created, they're all around our body and connect everything to the brain. So this is the optic nerve. Was that one tricky? Did you find that tricky? I know it was hard, but we're going to have a few difficult ones today and a few easy ones. And some things you're going to look at and you're going to go, I know what that is, but I don't know what it is in English. And that's what we're here for, okay? So let's try a question. What is a mental health doctor called? And you might have a few different words for this, might you? There's a few different, but a doctor of this is called something specific. There's a few other variations, but they mightn't be doctors. So, what is a doctor of mental health called? Okay, happy Diwali, Vicky. Okay, so Kartik is in with psychologist, okay? And we also have psychiatrist. So the answer I was looking for was psychologist. Okay, that is the doctor of mental health. I got it right at the buzzer, lol. A neurologist. Neurologist would be a doctor of the brain, okay, brain function. We also have psychiatrists and psychologists. So let's have a look and see what the difference is between a psychiatrist and a psychologist, okay? The main difference is that psychiatrists are medical doctors who can. Okay, so I have to correct myself here. So the big difference here between a psychiatrist and a psychologist, okay, a psychiatrist can prescribe medication, okay? A psychologist is not a medical doctor and cannot prescribe medication. So there we go. There we go. So a psychiatrist is a medical doctor who can prescribe medication, while psychologists are not medical doctors and cannot prescribe medication. There's also words here for counselors, therapists, shrinks. We have lots of different levels of psychiatry and psychologists. You have addiction counselors, addiction therapists, mental health therapists. There's lots of different ways that we can describe people in this job. But from some investigation, we have it's psychiatrists who can prescribe medication and psychologists who talk to you generally. So that was really interesting. Psychiatrists is also good. So yeah, lots of people in there with the correct answer. Psychiatrists can prescribe medication. Psychologists do not. Psychologists do counseling. Yes, very good. So really interesting. I learned something there. Excellent. So this is a piece of medical technology, okay? This is located near the heart and it kind of keeps the heart going. So it kind of keeps the pulse at a steady rhythm, sends a little electrical shocks. So do you know the name of this important medical instrument? If you have a heart condition, it can help you stay alive. Do you know the answer to the question? What is this medical device? Okay, so I see Kartik and Sujanya are in with the correct answer already. Does anybody else want to jump in and have a guess? Ooh, the tea is good today. The tea is really good. You have no idea. Okay. Well, Kartik and Sujana are in with pacemaker. What's the function of this device? So this device helps the heart function basically and keep going. It will send little electrical pulses to the heart to help it maintain itself and keep itself going. So we call it a pacemaker, and Kartik and Sujanya were in with pacemaker. So well done. It will equalize the heartbeats. Yes, It sends a little electric shock, a little electrical impulse. The heart operates with electrical impulses, and sometimes those electrical impulses can go off. So this regulates the electrical impulses of the heart. Hi, just had to go home. I was at school. Hi, Gavamprit. Nice to see you again. Princess Salaviria, nice name, says hi. Hello to you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the quiz. So here today we're doing medical English vocabulary. Really important for anyone, really. Anyone learning English. So yeah, we have a pacemaker. Not to be confused with the peacemaker. So let's keep going. We're going with something very... What would you call this? No rude words, please. Do you know what it is? Used when someone is lying down in a certain place. It's for a certain function. But what would you call it in English? No bad words, please. What would you call this in English? Ultramagnetic waves, it can resonate. Excellent. Excellent. Interesting. That's for the pacemaker. So, Stabworthy's in with an answer. Magda's in with something that's beeped. Sujana is in with another answer. Are they correct? Do you think they're correct? Have a look and see what you think. Have a look at the chat and jump in. If you think it's the same, write the same thing. I'm refraining myself, Kartik. Come on. No bad language. Okay. So, I see Gavamprit. You don't know? Well, I'm about to tell you. So we have Stabworthy and Sujanya in with bedpan. And this is exactly what I would call it too, a bedpan. So when someone can't get out of bed, maybe they're an older person or they have an injury and they need to go to the toilet, they use this. They either pop it underneath or you sit on top of it and do your business in the bed. Okay? If you use a camera when bat is making ultrasonic waves, camera won't work. I did not know that, Aaron. Hello, Aaron. Yeah, but what's the difference between bedpan and the one for children? They have for two different names. So the one for children is potty. The potty. P-O-T-T-Y. P-O-T-T-Y. The potty. That's what I would call it. When someone is getting bedridden, they use it. Yes, when someone is bedridden, we use the bedpan. Okay, so or if you're very sick, very old, maybe if you're dying, you can't get out of bed, or as Sujana said, bedridden. Lovely word, Sujania. Bedridden. You cannot get out of bed. You're stuck in bed. You use this. This is the bedpan. Yeah, very good. We're here to talk about every part of medical English, not just the easy ones or the nice to talk about ones. I say po po pee pee for my tongue. Tomorrow is Diwali. Some people are celebrating Diwali today, so happy Diwali if you're celebrating today or tomorrow. I'll wish you happy Diwali tomorrow. So we're on to body parts. What is the name of this body part? Okay, I'll give you a clue. It stores a liquid. Up here we would have the kidneys. This is the urethra. What is this organ in your body? And again, no dirty words, please. Keep it clean. We celebrate Aaron celebrating Diwali today. Okay, so some correct answers in already. Lots of correct answers in already. So we have Sai KTK in with bladder. Kartik is also in with urinary bladder, a lot more specific. A gallbladder, what's a gall? I think the gallbladder is something different, isn't it? Gallbladder is something different. The gallbladder is kind of situated, I think, underneath the liver. So it's a different thing. That's a different organ. I think that's something that can be removed sometimes. So, Stabworthy's in with bladder, Aaron's in with bladder. It can also get stone. Yeah, I got the stone twice. I got a stone stuck here in my urethra. I had to fly to hospital. The pain was incredible. I cannot describe. Yeah, this is the bladder. So well done to everyone. Yeah, I got a kidney stone. It's called, another word for it would be it's colic. It's another word for colic. But I had a kidney stone in my urethra stuck. I had it twice. and they were both the worst days of my life. The pain was so bad, I was vomiting. And until you get that pain medication, it is hell on earth. So, yeah, stones are so painful. Yes, Stabworthy, I have had a few. Jer got kidney stones, I got tonsil stones. I've had a few tonsil stones, but the stones, that pain is inevitable. Yes, the pain. I know someone, my cousin, gave birth without any medication, and she also had kidney stones. And she said the kidney stone pain was worse than childbirth. So, yeah, if you've had it, you know the pain. It's absolutely, it's like someone sticking a knife in you and turning it and turning it. It's unbearable pain. Consume plenty of water then whenever you have it. So I do. I drink lots. Well, I drink lots of tea. I don't know if that's any good. What's tonsil stones? Are they stones for real in the throat? So at the back, and we might have tonsils later. You have your tonsils, and inside the tonsils, you can get this white stuff that builds up. That's when you have tonsillitis or tonsil stones, and they come out, and it's quite disgusting. Happy Diwali, Jigga Chigga. Welcome back to the channel. I don't know this. I'm in my fourth grade. It's okay. It's okay. This is difficult English, isn't it? But it's useful. We all have bladders, hopefully. So it's good to know these terms, isn't it? Don't consume tea so much. It comprises caffeine. I drink decaf in the afternoon, evening. So I do try and be a bit better with the. I'm trying to be better with the caffeine. Okay, let's move on. So far we've had pacemakers, bedpans, optic nerves. What's next? What do you call medicine you can buy without a prescription? So in Ireland, if you need antibiotics, you have to go to the doctor, you have to get a prescription, you have to bring to the chemist. What do you call that type of medication? Maybe for your throat, if you have a sore gum, or you want to get some flu medication. And you don't need to go to the doctor, do you? You just go and buy it in the chemist. But what is that type of medication called? We have a very specific term in English. Sai is in with something very good. Stabworthy's in. Sojania. Alcohol is not good. I don't drink alcohol, thankfully. So yeah. So Sai, Stabworthy, and Sujania are in with over the counter. Over the counter. So that really means it's just the counter is the table at the where you have the register, and it's just given to you over the counter without any prescription or questions. Sometimes they might ask you some questions, but yeah, no prescription is over the counter, or we could just say OTC. OTC, over the counter. That's kind of the abbreviation. Over the counter medication. Yes, Kartik. Aaron, kicking men something gave same level as breaking 3,200 bones and giving birth. I don't know about that, Aaron. I think if you were to give birth to 160 babies, you would feel that a lot more, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. What is this called? So, if you're going to get some blood taken, if you're going to get, if they're going to do some blood tests on you, they would use this to restrict the blood flow in your arm. Okay, restrict blood flow. What is the name of this? It's kind of a French kind of sounding word. I'm sure it is a French word in origin. But what would we call this? You might often see people who are using, you know, some drugs or something, using something like this. But what would we call this in English? This is a tricky one. The blood test doctor did it to me. Yes. But what do we call this? Okay. No, they used some machine on me. Okay. Okay. Hi, Hamas. Hello to you. Welcome to the channel. First letter, please. So the first letter is T. Stabworthy's in with a answer. Have a look and see. To me, I think this is kind of a French origin word. So have a look at a hint, please. Well, yeah, okay. So the answer is tourniquet. Tourniquet. And Stabworthy and Sai, you have it as well there. That's a tourniquet. Yes, it is indeed a tourniquet. Spelled Tourniquet. So a tricky one to spell too. Tourniquet. Tourniquet. Yeah, well done, everybody. Okie dokie, let's move on to our next one. So this item would be used as, if you're getting blood taken or anything like that. My doctor just asked the compounder to hold my arm tight. Sob doesn't need a tourniquet. Okay. SOB. Very good. What do we call this? You would see this sometimes, in a sports, context, sometimes with an ambulance. What is the name of this piece of equipment? A tropo. It's hard, isn't it, today? Yeah, don't worry, tomorrow will be easier. So, hospital bed, you're very close. It is a type of hospital bed. So, lots of people in with the correct answer. A gurney, very good, Sai. So Kartik is in with stretcher, Gavamprit is in with hospital bed. So this is a type of hospital bed, but the term is stretcher. Stabworthy, Sojanya are also in with stretcher. So yeah, well done everybody. Let's keep going. How can you understand Italian? Uh, I dated an Italian for 8 years, so my Italian ain't too bad. What is this person wearing? What is the name of this type of clothing used specifically for medical context, medical situations, even with animals? Someone who works with any type of medicine, practicing medicine in a hospital, a clinic, a vet's, would wear this type. And you could be a doctor or a nurse. What type of clothing is this? What would we call this in English? An apron. Yeah, it could be a type of apron, all right. He's wearing, so Sabworthy is in a piece of paper, alu to you. I was about to type an Asian doctor. Ok, non lo so, non lo so. Piacere di conoscerti. Stop saying potato. I am not saying potato. That is being a little bit stereotyping of Irish. First letter, please, is S. S. And the word is the same as a cleaning verb. Roll Rock Productions, welcome to the channel. So we did have the correct answer in. So we have stethoscope, which is this item here, but this is a doctor. The answer, I'm asking you about the clothing. What is the name of the clothing that the person is wearing? So Stabworthy did have the answer there, and I'm going to jump in and say that we call this scrubs. This type of blue, sometimes it's pink, sometimes it's purple, sometimes they have patterns, but you will see doctors and nurses wearing these type of outfits, and these are just to protect their own clothes, because there's lots of different fluids going around in hospitals. So these are called scrubs, and I have put it into the chat. Scrubs, not scrub, singular, scrubs. Okay, I'm going to put on my scrubs. The doctor is wearing his scrubs, you know. It kind of comes from where they scrub up. That's when they clean their hands before surgery. We say they scrub up. So yeah, we have scrubs. And there's a TV show called Scrubs, if anyone knows. You're asking about the clothing. Yes, scrubs. Yes. The person in the chat is saying alu is not saying potato. I don't know what alu means. A mobile bed. Svitlana, hello to you. Welcome back. Yes, a stretcher is a type of mobile bed. That's why the comedy show about doctors and nurses is called Scrubs. Yes, exactly. And that's a really good channel, a good show to watch if you want to learn English. It's quite good English, it's quite intermediate, and watch it with subtitles. So, also means potatoes. Okay, well, I didn't know that. And I know there's some dishes with alu. Oh, is that why? Was that person trying to be like racist towards me? A piece of paper saying potato, potato, potato because I'm Irish? Okay, okay. Jer only likes Game of Thrones. He loved the ending specifically. Kartik, you are lying. You know very well. Alu means potato. But why was he saying potato like over and over and over? Was he being racist because I'm Irish? I don't know. I don't care. I'm not bothered. I'm going to have some of my tea. No potatoes involved. Okay, so this type of clothing is called scrubs. Okay? Who knows? Who knows? Alu, alu, alu. Let's keep going. So we have another body part, a difficult one. This one begins with a D, D-I-A, and this is, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's kind of like a little barrier in your stomach, but it's a kind of a muscle, isn't it? Up and down. Maybe they are making fun of you by saying hello. Maybe they are, but they're watching my video, aren't they? Ah. So lots of correct answers in. I'm side take KTK. I'm only joking. It's okay. I don't mind them. So lots of answers in already. Well done. AJ Kumar Sakit, welcome back. Kartik Kumar is in with diaphragm. Stabworthy diaphragm. Yeah, and the PH here in diaphragm, we say FF, like phone. Diaphragm. Sai KTK, ignore them. Sujania, diaphragm. AJ, diaphragm. Arabica, diaphragm. ULW, Papa, welcome back. Diaphragm. When iBox, whenever someone punched around the solar plexus, they hurt the diaphragm. Yeah, I think if you get a punch, in this area, you're going to be what we would say winded when you're, that's winded, okay? So yeah, the diaphragm. Very well done. You guys are doing really, really well today with the advanced English. I know these are really hard. So yeah. What does a nurse wear on their hands for hygiene? What does a nurse wear on their hands for hygiene? What is the name? Constricted constitution. Very well. Very good name. Can anyone give me, so I'm seeing gloves. Can anyone give me more? Stabworthy is in with gloves. Sai KTK is in with gloves. Kartik Kumar has given me what I'm asking for. Do you agree? I know planets because I watch a cartoon named Solar Balls. Oh, very good. Or maybe boxing gloves. Maybe the nurses and the doctors might need boxing gloves sometimes. But yeah, gloves, of course. And Kartik is in with surgical gloves. Sujani is also in with surgical gloves. Yes, these specific ones worn in hospital are called surgical gloves. Gloves, yes. UWL Papa. Latex gloves, yes. If we want to talk and describe what they're made of, we would say latex gloves. Well done, Stabworthy. Okay, let's keep a going. Let's keep going. Okay, what is the name of this room? So we have multiple beds in the room. What would we have? What would we call this in English? I'm going to the. I'm going to the. What else would we call it? Hospital room. Yes, it is a type of hospital room. It is, but it has a more specific name. ICU. We don't know if it's ICU. ICU is a little bit, you wouldn't be sharing a room with other people in ICU. So Tesseract is in with ward. Constricted constitution is in with ward or wing. So is Kartik. Stabworthy, is this a surgery recovery room? It could be. We don't know that. But it just has a general name. A general ward, Tesseract. Intensive care unit. I don't think this is the intensive care unit. If you were in intensive care, you probably wouldn't be sharing. You'd have your own room and there would be a lot more. You wouldn't really have visitors in an intensive unit. So we had ward or wing, a general ward or a department. Yes, I would go with that. We don't know if this is an ICU, but just to look at it, it could be an ICU ward, but this is the name we would call when you have a big room, big hospital room with multiple beds. It's a ward. You might have a male ward, a female ward. You could have an Alzheimer's dementia ward. You might have specific wards, a recovery ward, but this is the name we use. We also had wing. We could also use the word wing or department. Intensive care. It could be, but intensive care would be a type of ward. I can, but can't can me. Iad Benamar, that's a bit of a tongue twister. I feel for department as a whole floor, not just a room. Yeah, more of a floor. Yeah, the only type of ward isn't a reward. That's poetry, constricted constitution. So let's keep going with our quiz. How's everyone doing today? Everyone having a good day so far? Let me know if you have any news. So earlier we had bedpan. This is a similar thing. What would you call this? And this is a common term in English. English speakers would generally know the name of this. Definitely where I come from, everyone knows the name of this. So we have bedpan. This is for someone that's a little bit more mobile, but they need to use the bathroom. we see here, this is the pan is here. But what would we call this chair? Does anybody know? This is really advanced. I'll be really surprised if anyone can get me the name. It begins with a C. I'll pop the first letter into the chat so you can have a look and let me know what you think. Will I have to teach you something new? I think I might. I think I might have to teach you something. What is the name of this medical chair you would find in a hospital, a nursing home, in the bedroom of someone who's sick, maybe someone who can't get to the toilet? What is the name? Mobile seat, toilet seat. Yes, this could be a technical name, but we do have a name specifically, one word specifically for this. A crutch, a chair toilet. Hello, hello, Sarah. How are you? That's where DOL. Yeah, I would agree with you there, Kartik. I'm not going to say the name. A bay. Even Native speaker don't know this. Really? Okay, I'm going to put you all out of your misery. I'm going to make sure I just got to double check my. Yeah, I have the correct spelling, just to make sure. Oh, Stabworthy, you beat me to it. So, oh, and Sujani is in as well. So this is a commode. A commode. When my granny was really ill, she wasn't really mobile. We had to have the commode in the room with her, in her bedroom. Okay? So this is generally for older people, people who have mobility issues. This is a commode. I don't know, can you put an easy picture? Commode is a mobile toilet. Yes, but you can say mobile toilet, but we have one word to describe this. One word which is all we need. Commode. Isn't commode a piece of furniture beside the bed? Well, let's double check that. So, oh, okay, yeah. So I'm just googling commode. A commode is any of many pieces of furniture. The Oxford English Dictionary has multiple meanings of commode. The first relevant one reads a piece of furniture with drawers and shelves. In the bedroom, a sort of elaborate chest of drawers. In the drawing room, a large kind of chiffoniner. So, but I would call this a commode. So, commode, as we've just discovered, can be used for a chest of drawers. But this, when we see this, we use one word, which is a commode. A Western closet. I like that. A water closet. In my language, we call commode to the toilet and washroom. Yeah, so we would have around the toilet. There's lots of very similar words, across different languages. So yeah, but very well pointed out, Sarah. I really like that. I didn't know a commode was multiple things of furniture. You are cheating. You are searching on Google. I am the teacher. This is not a democracy. This is a gerocracy. So I say what goes. Got it. Thanks, Jer. Thank you, Sarah. That was really interesting. Okay, let's keep going. And we have lots more coming. Jump onto the chat if this is your first time with the channel and let me know where you're watching from. Make sure to subscribe. So when we see this image, we think of death, skeletons, but there's one word we can use to describe this whole thing. What word would you use? A bureaucracy. Yes, Stabworthy. Bureaucracy. Okay. Skull. We have skull from Sai. Ayad has skull. Stabworthy skull. Kartik skull. AJ skull. Sarah skull. Hung Tam Yung. Hi, how are you? I'm sorry I butchered your name. I said it first. Oh, did you, Ayad? Did you? Oh, I think Sai was in first. Arabic is saying skull. Where did you get my picture from? Skull from Guru. Hi, Guru. Constricted Constitution. That's my mate Jerry. Oh, Jerry's looking a bit not very well. Jetty Dizu is saying skull. So yes, every single one of you was correct. Well done. Well, this is a skull, part of the skeleton. This top part would be called the cranium. Okay, we have the nasal cavity here. We have the eye socket here. And we have the jawbone and the teeth here as well. Your mate Jerry is dead. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so well done, everybody. That was a great one. Dang. Poor Jerry. Okay. I hope that's not me. Some people, when I was younger, people used to call me Jerry when I was in school. Okay. Does anybody know the name of this item? This item measures the amount of oxygen in your blood. So can anyone tell me a descriptive term you might use for this or what it is actually called? This is worn on the finger and it measures oxygen in your blood. Hi Jer, it's pretty late here in WA, but thought of joining the exhilarating knowledge session. Thank you so much, Guru. So glad you're here. It measures blood pressure? No, it measures oxygen saturation in the blood, the amount of oxygen in your blood. This one is tricky. It is, Ayad, it is. I see lots and lots of really interesting answers. So we have Psi KTK with a pulse oximeter. Jitty is in with pulse oximetry. AJ oxygen meter. Rahim, hi Raham, hello to you. Guru oximeter. UWL Papa oximeter. Kartik, a digital stapler. It does look a little bit like a little stapler, doesn't it? Oximeter, yes. Guru, I'm in WA too. Oh wow. Sorry, I'm watching with some delays. It is with my reply a bit weird. No problem, Svetlana. That's quite all right. A heart rate monitor. So no, this isn't a heart rate monitor. What we had there with pulse oximeter or an oximetry, an oxygen meter, all very correct. Yeah, all good ways of describing it, but it is an oximeter. It measures oxygen saturation in the blood. So this is a pulse oximeter. Very, very well done. Hi Manjaj PM, nice to see you again. One of my regulars here. A sculp. Oh, a scalp. Svetlana, I see your that was for the skull. So you could say the scalp is the kind of the top part, the very top part of the head. What's the correct spelling? So an oximeter, there was definitely a few there. Oximeter. Where in WA? Okay, so we have some Western Australias there, I think, having a chat. And let's move on. So yes, a pulse oximeter. And as I said, it measures this oxygen saturation in your blood. A very, very important one. Okay, we were talking about these earlier. Here, we can see someone has a little bit of problems, maybe an infection. These are something that are here and here. Bonus points if you know this one as well. But I think you can kind of just see it there and a little bit there. I think what WA is in Western Australia, isn't it? So yes, Stabworthy, we have the mouth, but we're talking about two things that are on either side. Sometimes they're removed. And if anyone can tell me what this is. That's a mouth. I know it's a mouth. Very, very good. And we have Sai KTK with the Yulia. Very, very, very good. Very excellent advanced English. And Sai is also in with tonsils. Sarah's in with tonsils. And yes, this is a mouth. I know. Tonsillitis. Yes, she has tonsillitis. Well done. Constricted constitution. Very well done. A gland. I don't know if the tonsils are a type of gland, are they? Tonsils, type of gland. Tonsils are not a gland. No, they're not. They are a lymphoid organ. So there we go. I just Googled it. Uvula in the middle. Yes, well done. Glad I learned that by watching your videos. Excellent. There you go. Learning English, learning with the English Pro all the time. Guru, yes, the tonsils. Well done. That was exactly what I was looking for. And yes, we also had constricted constitution in with the condition tonsillitis. If you have very sore throat with tonsillitis, and you might have tonsil stones, and everything's inflamed and sore. Have you ever had tonsillitis? There's some years I get it like twice, and until I get the medication, I'm really usually very sick. So I'm going to leave this open. What would you call this? There's a couple of different things I'll accept, but let me know what you would call this in English. If you had to describe this to somebody, what words would you say? I'm going to have some tea while I'm waiting. Excellent. Excellent. I see some answers popping into the chat already. You guys are very quick with typing. It's very impressive. Stabworthy, yeah. It's a great answer for someone with the name Stab. This is your forte. So, PsyKTK is in with blood test tube. Stabworthy is also in. That's a test tube with blood in it. So yeah, this was the term. The test tube is the term that I was really looking for. You could also say a vial, a glass vial, a blood test, maybe someone could say. But a test tube with blood inside. UWL, pop it, yes, a blood test tube. Perfect. A thermometer, a funny looking thermometer. I don't actually have thermometer today on the slides, but yes, this is a blood test tube. Not a, it does look a little bit similar to a thermometer. A vial is for syringe thingy. Yes, it could be that little one that they pop it in. So anything that's a small glass, piece of glass. A test tube, a synonym of a test tube would be vial. But yeah, we could say this is a vial of blood. But you're right, that little bottle that they use for the injection, if you're getting a vaccine or something, it's usually in a small glass vial. So excellent, excellent. Well done. Well done. Very impressed. So let's move on to our next slide. What is this? No bad words. No need to say anything bad in the chat. No bad rude words. But what is the name of this bag? A tricky spelling, so don't worry about the spelling. Just have a go. And what would you call this bag? So this bag is for someone who has digestive problems, who can't actually normally go to the bathroom. So this is a medical device, usually with lots of operations involved and maybe a few infections and things like that. It's a difficult thing to manage for some people. But what would you call this bag? Stabworthy is in with a very good answer. Let's see what other people say before we start talking. Also worth mentioning, vial and vial are different. Yes. So we have the word vial, VIAL, which is the glass tube, and then the word VILE, vial, which is an adjective to describe something quite disgusting. Gosh, I'm upside down in the answer. Kudos to the correct answers. Well, Guru, just keep chiming in and having a guess. Even if you can get part of the answer, I mean, this is a specific kind of thing, isn't it? Well, it is. I do have Stabworthy's answer there. So it's a bag, it's a type of bag, a bag where we release the fluids of our body when we're not able to do it naturally. So that's quite a fashion statement. Indeed. Indeed, yes, it is. So Stabworthy was in with colostomy bag, and so was UWLL at Papa. So colostomy bag. So this is the bag where you pee into and you maybe poop into if you have some big problems with your digestion. So, guru, that's a great word you have put in. A catheter. Quite a difficult one in English to say. Catheter. So, a catheter is one that is similar to a colostomy bag, but a catheter is a tube that's inserted into the penis to capture urine. And these can be prone with lots of infections as well. Colostomy is something operation. Yeah, I think a colostomy is a type of operation as well. I'm not too sure. But a colostomy bag is this. I think the colostomy might be a way to bypass if you're bypassing an organ. But yeah, we have colostomy bag here. So yeah, interesting English all around, I think. Okay. What is a heart doctor called? We have specific terms for different types of doctors and their specialities. What is a heart doctor called? Do you know the answer? Begins with C for a clue. Is catheter for men? I think there are catheters for women. I think they are, but I would associate catheters for men mainly. But I think there is some for women. So we have a love doctor. Oh, I like that constricted constitution. Very romantic. So we have lots of correct answers in. Sai is in, Sarah, Lilia, hi Lilia, Guru, Arabica is in with cardiologist. So is Rahim, and so is UWLL Papa, cardiologist. Well done. That was a very quick one. Everyone was correct. Love to see it. And let's keep going. We're going to jump in with a body part next. So we have a small one and a big one. What are these called generally? There's two words I'll accept here actually. A medical term and maybe not so much of a medical term. What we call big and small. Nafin Islam, hello to you. Thanks for joining. And Stabword is in as usual. Sai is in. Guru is in. What do you think? Have a look at their answers in the chat and join in as well. What is the answer? What do we call these? We have a big one and a small one. Digestive system. Yeah, that's a good general term. Gerard. Yes, it is Gerard. It's not Gerald. My name is Gerard. Gerard Ahern. Guts. That's a great word, Arabica. That's the other word I was looking for. Everyone has guessed intestines, intestine. So we have the small intestines, the big intestine. But generally, these are called the digestive system, as Raheem has pointed out. Or we have another kind of street word, something that's not so medical, guts. And we use the kind of term guts for bravery. This is where your bravery resides, in your guts. Like Gerard Butler, the actor. Exactly. Yeah. I always think it's funny how much intestines look like sausages, but then remember, sausages are made out of intestines. Exactly, exactly. Constricted constitution. Exactly. They use the lining of the sausages to fill with the meat. Yummy, yummy, but they are delicious. Small intestine, large intestine. Can we say intestine? Yeah, we can say just generally intestines. We usually say plural, intestines. You could say, I have a pain in my big intestine. Just my intestines, I would keep it plural. So, well done, everybody. Kind of a funny looking body shape, isn't it? And it definitely makes me think of sausages. So, here's an easy one. What would you call this? I know it's a white coat, but what would we generally call this in English? Used in hospitals. Sometimes you'll see a doctor wearing them, but we would have a general term for this. What do you think it is? Let's have a look. What's coming into the chat now? What's going to pop up? Lab Stabworthy is in as usual. Scrubs, yeah, this is not a scrub. You could wear this over your scrubs. Butchers wear them. Yeah, they do. Butchers wear aprons though, don't they? So we have a few guesses in already. Stabworthy's in with lab coat. So is Guru. Do you agree? A duck gown. That's very elegant. Very elegant. But a gown is kind of, we would say like there is a surgical gown that you could wear, but that is more like the scrubs, and it's kind of like a back to front coat, isn't it? So I would go with lab coat. At a push, a doctor's coat, but this is a lab coat. This is what we would call it, a laboratory coat. But no one calls it a laboratory coat. It's a lab coat worn in, laboratories, hospitals, that kind of thing. But yeah, a doctor would wear this, but it would be called a lab coat, and they would wear it over their scrubs. So, excelente. Let's keep going. So, what is this part called? You can see the bit it's highlighted in blue and yellow. What do we call this part? So this is the nail. This is the finger, obviously, the tip of the finger. We have the fingernail. But what is this part called in the blue and red and yellow? It's very specific. It's a little bit of skin. Maybe, I don't know if you can see mine. My finger's disappearing. Do I have a little bit of one? So let's have a look. Stabworthy's in, Sarah's in. Let's have a look. Have a look at what they're saying and see if you agree. Lilia's also in. Nice name. Kapasmunova. Arabica, cuticle. Okay, so yeah, the answer is cuticle. Stabworthy, Sarah, Lilia, Arabica, Raheem is in with cuticle. Yeah, very good. And they kind of push them back, don't they, when they're doing your manicure? I don't really have big cuticles. I don't think so. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. What are these? Boom, 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 boom. So I'll accept two terms for this. It is the white part of the nail or the flesh. It's the flesh. It's the fleshy bit. So size in with an answer. So yeah, and any other word for it? The white part. Yeah, the white part of the nail. So, what are we thinking for this? I have one answer in already. There is another word I would accept for this specific. I'm talking about this part particularly. Ooh, Kartik. That's a great answer. The pupil. Pupil? That's your pupil, the black in the eye. That's the pupil. So we're far away from the pupil here, Guru. So we already have a few answers. Arabic is in, Raheem is in. Perfect. Really, really good. So yes, these are the ribs individually. We have one rib, two ribs, three ribs, four ribs. Oh, very good. And we also have, as a whole thing, it's called the rib cage. Like a cage, like a bird cage, because it kind of looks like one, doesn't it? The rib cage. And individually, they're ribs. Okay? Rib cage and ribs. Well done, everybody. So this is a tricky one from my old industry. I used to work in an optometry shop. What do you know the name of this? This is really, really difficult. I don't expect anyone. I'm going to actually start typing it in to the chat. I've typed it in. I'm going to hit enter in about 10 seconds. Can anyone tell me the name of this device? And I've given you a clue where it's used. Stabworthy, you are really worthy of praise. Yes, Sai is really, really good. Stabworthy has given us the rib, the sternum, altogether is the rib cage. Stabworthy is fantastic. I broke my sternum and 5 ribs in a bad car accident 2 years ago. I almost died, but I didn't. Ouch. I hope you're doing okay now. I certainly know you're good at the walking, Stabworthy. So this is, I'm going to pop it into the chat. This is an ophthalmoscope. Ophthalmoscope used by opticians, ophthalmologists to look into your eye. They shine the light and they look all around the interior of your eye. An otoscope. It's not an otoscope. Let me just make sure. Because the otoscope is for the ear. No, it's definitely an ophthalmoscope. It does look a little bit like an otoscope, but it is an ophthalmoscope. One, if you have the light here, and it's quite flat. A otoscope is a little bit pointed to go into the ear. This is quite flat around the sides. So, and they kind of hold it like that, and they get very close, and they look all around up under your eye like that. So this is an ophthalmoscope. I think I might have an otoscope coming up. An ophthalmology meter. Yeah, we could probably call it an ophthalmology meter, but the general term, as I know it, is an ophthalmoscope. So I think I might have an odometer. So save that answer for the if it comes up. What is a cancer doctor called? What is a cancer doctor called? So in medical terms, there's lots of different doctors. When they have specialities, we give them particular names. Earlier we had cardiologist for a heart specialist. What is a doctor when they specialize in different types of cancers and cancer treatment? Do you know the answer? Pop it into the chat. I see a couple of answers already. Have a look and see if you agree and walk and copy on. Walking is pretty much the only exercise I'm allowed to do. I should have died, but I remain on this earth just to participate in your class. Well, everything works out. That's destiny, Stabworthy. Okay, so we have a couple of answers. Rishu, hi Rishu. Happy Diwali to you. Hope you have a wonderful time. And we have a couple of answers into the chat already. And as I can see, they're all correct. Sai, Lilia, Rahim, Arabica, UWL, Apapa, and Gascom. Hi, Gascom. Oncologist. Oncologist. Is it with a H or without a H? Oncologist without a H. Without a H. I'm just going to check. Oncologist. No H. Oncologist. Okay? So your first spelling there was correct. Oncologist. So lots of advanced English today. What is this nurse called? This nurse will help with all aspects of the pregnancy, the delivery, and maybe even a little bit afterwards. What do we call this type of nurse? Frostcut, I face hair loss. Well, just accept it, you know? Don't worry. What do we call this specialized nurse? They help with the pregnancy, they are definitely there with the delivery, and they might help a little bit after. A prenatal nurse, an obstetrician. Hello, everyone from Uzbekistan. Shurash Emazarov, hello to you in Uzbekistan. I'm in Dublin, in Ireland. Great to talk to you. An obstetrician physician, a maternity nurse. Okay, so I'm looking for the word that I would call this nurse. Okay, so I'm just going to check. I think an obstetrician is more of a doctor. So an obstetrician is a physician or a surgeon qualified to practice in obstetrics, and obstetrics is a field concerned with pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum. So that's more of a doctor. I'm looking for the nurse. Okay, prenatal nurse. Let's have a look at some synonyms of this word. Let's just see. I just want to make sure I have. Okay, so the term I'm looking for, and I see a few people have it there, UWL, Papa has it, and Stabworthy is saying midwife. And that's really the term we would commonly use. There could be maternity nurse we could use, a labor nurse, yeah, we could use labor nurse, prenatal, yeah, probably. But I would use the woman that helps, or the man, or the type of nurse that helps a woman during delivery, maybe before the pregnancy, a little bit after, is called the midwife. A prenatal sister, maybe like there's other terms like a birth doula. There's a few different words depending on cultural, but generally a nurse who helps with delivery, maybe just before the birth, a little bit after the birth, is a midwife. And I'm just going to type it into the chat. Midwife, and they practice midwifery. Midwifery. Let me just check my spelling. Midwifery. Okay, but obstetrician and midwife is quite the same. But an obstetrician is a doctor. I'm talking about the nurse. Okay. Obstetrician is a physician or a surgeon qualified to practice obstetrics. So this is related to medical speciality. It's combined with gynecology. It's a surgical field. So an obstetrician performs surgery relating to pregnancy. Hi, Durgesh. Hello to you. Welcome back to the chat. So specifically, this is a nurse, and I would call it a midwife. Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali to you, Durgesh. I'm so delighted to have all my Indian followers watching me on your special day. So thanks for joining me. Okay. What is this bone, or what is this area of the body called? We're back to anatomy. What is this area of the body called? But yeah, midwife is not a medical term. It is a medical term, I'm afraid. Midwife. I'm going to Google now. Midwives promote and advocate for non-intervention in normal childbirth and are appropriate caregiver for women with normal risk pregnancies. Okay, so midwife is a medical term. Hip, pelvis, hip, and hip. Sai is in with hip. Durgesh is saying pelvis. Stabworthy is saying hip, and Raheem is saying hip as well. Hip to the groove, baby. So yes, this is the hip. Okay, the pelvis is more all of this area, so both, and in the middle, you'd have obviously the pelvic bone kind of here, I think, and this whole area is called the pelvis. Okay, and this on the side is what we call the hip. That's why I have it circled here, the hip, or the hip bone. So, well done. Lots of correct answers. What's the name of this room in a hospital or a clinic or maybe in a doctor's office? What would you call this room? Bum, 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 bum. Not a very difficult one, I think. You could find this in lots of places, not just a hospital. Kama, one of my students has just joined. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining today. Lovely to have you here. Happy Diwali from Pinky. Thank you, Pinky Minge. Great word. So Durgesh is in with waiting room. Yes, simple as that. Waiting room. Stabworthy, waiting room or lobby? Yeah, I just go with waiting room. A changing room. Well, no one's changing their clothes, thankfully. This is just a waiting. They're waiting, so it's a waiting room. Examination arena. Great guess. Really good. But this is more of a public room. And if you're having an examination, it's more private, isn't it? So this is a public waiting area or waiting room. Okay? Great. Let's fly through the rest of these. Let's get this done. What is a skin specialist called? If you had a look at my channel recently, I recently produced a video on this topic. A waiting lounge. Yeah, Raheem, that would be acceptable as well. Waiting lounge, waiting area, waiting room. So, Durgesh, Sarah, Stabworthy, all in with an answer. Have a look in the chat and let me know if you agree with them. And yeah, and everyone's spelling it beautifully. Either you're all great spellers or autocorrect is working very hard at this very moment. So Raheem, Durgesh, Sarah, Stabworthy, Guru, Sai, Arabica, Sharesh, Raheem, all in with dermatologist. And check out the video I have on my channel recently. And Kama will have access to the PDF as a student member of the channel. And yeah, you'll get a PDF guide, watch the video, 15 terms relating to dermatology. It's just one of my, I think, one or two videos ago. Epidermis is the skin, dermatology is skin studies. Very good, yeah. Epidermis. Your epidermis is showing. So yeah, next, let's keep going. Quick, 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 quick. We're going to speed this up a bit. What do you see? Tell me exactly what you see. Do you know the exact medical terms? Do you know a general term for what we are seeing? We see some red things, some white things. What's happening in this picture? If I couldn't see this picture, what would you say to describe this picture to me? What English words would you use? Okay, you need to make a live in the Zoom to hear our pronunciation. Yeah, I would love that. I really would. I think the technology is coming. YouTube is working on like two-way communication, I think, in the lives. White and red blood cells. Very good. Turgesh has given me an acronyms there. Red blood cells, yeah. Anyways, good time ahead to you as well as anyone part of it. See you soon. Thank you so much for joining, Guru, and happy Diwali to you. Blood cells, and white blood cells from Kama, one of my members there. Yes, well done. Red blood cells, microbes. Is there a microbe in there somewhere? Is there any microbes? I'm not sure. But yes, we have white blood cells. We also have the red blood cells, which are known as platelets. Platelets, aren't they? I'm just going to double check. I just want to make sure I got all this stuff right. Red blood cells, platelets. Okay, so platelets are different. Platelets are different. So we have white blood cells, we have platelets, and we have red blood cells. What does a platelet do? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I did biology in school. Platelets are tiny disc-shaped shell fragments in blood that help stop bleeding by forming clots. So platelets are so we have the white blood cells, which help against disease and infection. We have the red blood cells, which deliver oxygen around the body. And we also have the platelets. Do we see any platelets? Let's call this a platelet. And this helps with clotting if you get a cut. So that's really interesting. Having a little refresher. Platelets are small in size than these cells. Yeah, maybe I don't see any there. Maybe that one's a platelet. That one, that little one is a platelet. Okay, so yes, and this is, of course, blood. So yeah, well done. Thanks, Jurgesh, for that. And we had this word earlier. Stabworthy was telling, if you were paying attention in the chat, Stabworthy had an accident and broke this. So Stabworthy, you might sit this one out to give everyone a chance. This is called two different words. This particular bone in the body. We have two words. Can you get the two words? Or do you know one? Jump into the chat and let me know. I think Mr. Kumar is a med student. Suspicion, but that's allowed. There's no rules. It is a gerocracy, so I'll allow it. So we have two different answers in so far from four people. Have a look. Do you agree with one or both? Is this called the beauty bone, IG? This could be, I Googled, I Canvaed, I work on Canva, and this is what came up. This was the best one. That's a collarbone, a clavicle. I didn't break. Oh, you broke your sternum and your ribs. Apologies, apologies. Okay, is this called? Okay, so yes, this is called the collarbone or the clavicle. Well done to Sai, Durgesh, Rian van Vick. Hello to you. Welcome back. Lilia, clavicle. Yes. Arabica, the clavicle. GJCH, collarbone. Yes, well done. Well done, everybody. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And Stabworthy, you broke your sternum and your ribs. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, what's happening here? What device is this? Or what is actually happening here? Tell me in your best English. I have never broken my clavicle. Not yet. Well, fingers crossed you don't ever. So, what's happening in this image? Tell me in your best English what you think is going on. What is the difference between caller and caller? So, a caller is someone who calls you, or someone who calls to the house. A caller, if you look at my top, this is a collar. This part of my sweater is the collar. Okay, a collar. So we say this is the collarbone here, probably because it's close to the collar. Okay, but a collar, and you will see this in a shirt. Let me just grab a shirt if I can from the wardrobe. One moment. Oh, okay, this is a good one to grab. Okay, so we have a collar. This is a collar here. Okay, collar. And then a caller, Caller, is someone who calls you on the phone. I have a caller on the phone for you. There's a caller on line one. Okay? Well done. Okay, I have to go backtrack a bit now. I hope that was clear, Sarah. Blood pressure monitor, blood pressure measurement, yes. Blood pressure test, Rian, Kama, well done. Sai KTK, well done. Stabbury, the person is having their blood pressure measured, perfect. Manual blood pressure measurement, ideal, yes. She's pumping it herself, isn't she? Blood pressure measurement, Spigiometer is the device. Durgesh, that's very impressive. I did not know that. Pulsimeter, I'm not sure it's called a pulsimeter. Sometimes called a blood pressure cuff. Yes, yes, this is the cuff here. You know, and if you know your shirts, a cuff is the little bit that goes around the wrist. So this is called a cuff. Well done. Thanks a million. You're very welcome, Sarah. Lilia, a tonometer. Tonometer. I'm going to check that. I want to make sure. A tonometer is actually something that's used in optical. It is, it measures, you know, when you go to the optician and they blow air in your eye, that device is called a tonometer. A BP machine. So AJ has said BP. So this is kind of medical acronym for blood pressure. So you can Google it to the device. La 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 la. Spigi. I'm just trying to remember how to spell it. Spigio. I'm going to take your word for it. A BP machine. So yeah, BP is kind of an abbreviation for blood pressure. And yes, this is some blood pressure measurement. All correct answers. Well done. So here's a tricky one for you. What is this called? Any words you can think of. So earlier we had a test tube. So what happens to the test tube after they take the blood? It goes to the laboratory and then they put it in this machine. So what words would you call this machine? Okay, so people are in already with an answer. Very impressive. Have a look at what they said and see if you agree. And if you agree, copy and paste or write it yourself. Sai KTK, that's a great answer. And let's see if anyone else jumps in. Oh, the suspense is killing me. Kama, great. So let's lead with Kama. Kama has put in centrifuge. We also had that from Jurgesh and Rian van Vick. And Sai KGK has a test tube spinner. And this is a great way to kind of generally describe it. But this is a centrifuge. And it uses what we would call centrifugal force. and it spins things around. It forces things to kind of separate inside the blood so they can test things better. It separates the fluid. Yes, exactly, AJ. Centrifuge, yeah. A tongue. A tongue? Is it a tongue? Is that another word for a centrifuge? No, a tongue is what you would use. It's a kind of like a tweezers, almost like a scissors in a way, something that you use to pick something up. So you could have a medical tongue, maybe. But this is a centrifuge. Centrifuge. Separates the plasma. Very good. Sir, I'm a science student. That's why I'm able to answer these questions. Durgesh, I had a little suspicion. I'm not going to lie. I had a little suspicion you had a little bit of extra knowledge, but no problem. That's what you're here. It's difficult for me to pronounce properly. That's okay, Kama. So I hope you can listen to me and hear my pronunciation. Centrifuge. Centrifuge. Okay? So, I remember the other day I had big bandages on the screen, and some people said this word. There's an American term, and there's a British English term. Do you know one? Do you know both? The American one is a brand name that's kind of come into the vernacular. But what would you call this? Do you call it by the British English, the American English, or do you know both? Let me know in the chat. So, yeah, lots and lots of answers. Great. So bandage. Durgesh is in with bandage, and this will be a general term. This is a type of bandage. So correct. Sai, Rian, Stabworthy, AJ. Let's have a look. So we have plaster. So plaster is the British English, and Sai, Rian is in Arabica. Sarah is in with both. Rian prefers the British English, and Kama is plaster, and Reem is saying plaster. So yes, British English is plaster. Then we had Band-Aid. Stabworthy is in with Band-Aid. Sai KTK is saying Band-Aid. Kama is giving both, and also gave Band-Aid. And then, yeah, so Band-Aid would be the American term. This is a brand name. Stabworthy might just confirm that for me. This is a brand name in English, a little bit like, you know, in USA they have vacuum cleaner. We use the term Hoover, which is also a brand name that kind of entered the vernacular. So we have bandage. This is a type of bandage, very small bandage, and you can pick it up in a chemist or even the supermarket maybe. And it is a plaster in UK English or a band-aid in American English. So well done to everybody, and well done to Kama, who gave me both. And did anyone else give me both? I think it was just plaster and bandage. Sarah, you gave me two there. So yeah, well done. Dressing as well. Yeah, a very small type of dressing. Dressing to me is something more, is a lot more, you know, than just this. This is a very, very, very tiny. We wouldn't, it is a type of dressing. This little bit here is the dressing part. Um, it's a type of dressing, but dressing is usually something more substantial for a bigger wound or something like that. A handy plug. It might be handy, but it's, I wouldn't really call it a plug. Okay, great. Let's move on. Only a few more left. Near the end. What is an eye doctor called? And I think I've said this word once or twice throughout this lesson. We had an ophthalmoscope earlier, which is a tool that's used to look into the eye. But what is an eye doctor called? Sometimes they're just called eye doctors, but there is a specific term for this okay, so we have ophthalmologist, optometrist, optometrist. This can vary slightly. I just know this because I worked in an optician's. So terms might shift between American English and British English. To me, and I see lots of this, let's see, Sarah, Durgesh, Rian, Sai, Kama, AJ, Arabica, Lilia, and Raheem all have ophthalmologist, okay? Ophthalmologist, that's what I would go for. An optometrist, as far as I know, an optometrist is not a doctor. In Ireland, an optometrist is definitely not a doctor. They're just the person that checks your prescription and general eye health. An eye doctor or an ophthalmologist can perform surgery, can prescribe medication. An optometrist can't do that. So the correct answer I would accept here is an ophthalmologist. an optometrist is like a junior version of an ophthalmologist. And then you have optician as well. And an optician is actually the person that does the lenses, okay? So you have a dispensing optician for the lenses, an optometrist who checks the prescription, checks general eye health. If you have any problems, they will refer you on to an ophthalmologist who is an eye doctor. I hope that makes sense. So let me see. I see some stuff popping up. Opticians make glasses. Exactly. A dispensing optician will pick your lenses. If you have a very crazy prescription, you might need a dispensing optician to really pick the right lenses for you. Like the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist. Yes, exactly, Rian Van Vick. Very good. Have you ever considered getting LASIK? I did. I did get LASIK surgery and I'm back in glasses. I can kind of function without them, but I prefer the precision. I have astigmatism, not a crazy one, but just enough that it bothers me. So I like, and I'm getting into my 40s now. I'm in my 40s, so I have a little bit of a reading addition in these. An ophthalmologist, very good. So yeah, LASIK surgery, that was like torture. I hated it. Okay, what is this medical instrument called? So this is used to deliver medication like gas in a gas form or in a vapor form. That's a clue though, vapor. What would you call this? You need an appointment, comma. Yeah, you should definitely get it. Eyes check should be checked every 2 years. I think you look good in glasses. Yeah, these are good ones. These are really nice. I do have a good selection of glasses. So I try and mix it up sometimes, but these are super light. They're indestructible. I got them for free, but they're very, very expensive. So let's have a look. Neebs. I think Neebs might be the short version of it. I think you mean a nebulizer, do you? I think you might mean a nebulizer, but it's not a nebulizer, comma. Okay, so we did have Neebs. I think you might mean nebulizer, an O2 mask, a mask. Don't know, nebulizer. Guessing you're close with nebulizer. An inhaler. It is a type of inhaler. It's not a ventilator. A ventilator is the machine that helps you breathe. I used that as a kid when I had asthma. I just called it a mask. 2 years. Oh my God, glasses are 7 years. Oh, it's time for a checkup then. Come on. Nebulizer, face mask. So I would say it's a vaporizer. Okay, a nebulizer. So, a nebulizer is a medical device that converts liquid medication into a fine mist or aerosol. So let's have a look and see if that is the same. Maybe. Okay, a nebulizer uses compressed air or ultrasonic vibrations to create a fine mist of liquid medication. A vaporizer heats a substance to produce vapor or steam. Okay, so a nebulizer, they kind of do the same thing, don't they? So I'm going to accept a vaporizer or a nebulizer for this one, okay? So an ophthalmologist visits you and prescribes prescription for glasses. Well, the ophthalmologists can do prescriptions, but generally you go to the optometrist for a prescription. So I'm going to accept nebulizer or vaporizer. I just thought this was a vaporizer. I do know a nebulizer, but I'm going to accept both for this. We have vaporizer or nebulizer that deliver medicine in a certain way. They both kind of do the same thing. So this could be either or, couldn't it? Sir next. Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. And we only have a few things left. This one's a little bit more of an easy one. So what is this part of the leg called? We have the foot, we have the shin, the calf at the back. What is this bit in the middle? Vicks Vapor Rub. Hi, Cornell. Vicks Vapor Rub. How long has that been going? I think we still have a jar of it from like 40 years ago. So yes, we have lots of correct answers jumping into the chat right now. We have Cornell in with ankle, Durgesh, Rien, Sarah, Stabworthy, Jiti, Raheem, Arabica, all have ankle. And yes, of course, it's the ankle. It was a little bit of a trick one. I was wondering if I'd catch you out. So we have the foot, we have the heel here, we have the foot arch here, we have the ankle. At the back, we have the calf, and here in front, up the top, we have the shin. Okay? Very good. Excellent. Well done, everybody. Everyone got that right. So we're down to our last few slides, or last three, actually. What is the name of this? This might give you nightmares of COVID. What is this called? It begins with an S, four-letter word. What would you call this? Q-tip? No, it's not a Q-tip. It looks like a Q-tip. Q-tips are smaller. This is a medical testing device. Q-tips are for cleaning out parts of your body. Comma is in. So a lot of you are saying Q-tip. I'm going to grab a Q-tip. I think I might have one to hand. One moment. Do I have one? Yes, I do. Okay. I'm back. I vanished for a second, but I'm back. This is a Q-tip. This is not a Q-tip. This is a Q-tip. Or in British English, a cotton bud. Cotton bud. But this is a Q-tip. I'm going to put it back. What is this called? Let's have a look. Oh, someone's being very racist in the... But YouTube was able to hold it, and I blocked them. I blocked them bad. Okay, let's have a look. So, a Harry Potter wand. Interesting. Okay, so let's have a lot and loads of answers in. We have Q-tip, so I've established it's not a Q-tip. Kama was first in with swab, so well done to my student member. That student membership's doing you well. Join student membership today. $4.99 a month. Link is in description. You get PDF guides. You're going to get access to my brand new video that's coming later. So yes. So pay fair or cotton, but okay. It's a swab. Yes, Credal, Rian, swab, cotton swab, a swabber. Yeah, I'll take swabber. AJ swab, Riham swab, swab test. Not a Harry Potter wand. Schwab is the scariest way to say it. Schwab. Very good. Swab, yes, a lot of COVID, yes, straight up the nose, straight at the back, and you're like, oh, it's touched my soul. Cotton bud, no, these are cotton buds. A Q-tip is another word for cotton bud. Cotton swab, yes. Kama, you're coming back with swab again, yes, well done. I cried when they put this in my nose, yes. As I said, it feels like it touches your soul. It touches parts that no one should ever touch. I'm listening to you now all day. Oh, thank you so much, Kama. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support as a student member. It means the world to me, and I hope you get great value from all the downloads and early access. And, as a student member, you get access to special emojis. So if you click into your chat, you will see access. You'll see Brainy, your own little emoji. You won't see it anywhere else but Learn English Pro. COVID nightmare. The ultimate COVID nightmare. Oh, thank you, Stabworthy. Okay, we have one more. Oh, we have two more. The next one is interesting. What's happening here? How would you describe this situation? So it's not like this, is it? Look at the fingers. Look in the middle. What do we call this in English? This condition. There's probably a big medical term. Maybe Durgesh can give us the big medical term. But what would you call this in English? I don't know why it's blocking that word. Actually, it touches one of the nose nerves, which makes us irritate too much. Yeah, that's what happens. Because when I do here, it makes me cough. Strange. So Crunel is in with webbing. Stabworthy, webbed finger from Crunel. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I just pressed a button. Jitty Dazoo, web, yes. Knuckles, I think you mean knuckles, which are these parts here. That's your knuckles here. Spelled with a K. A duck. Yeah, a duck has webbed feet, don't they? Finger spread. Yeah, but we have webbing here. This is webbed fingers. You can also have webbed toes. Genetic malfunction. Yeah, I know one or two people who have. I know a guy who has webbed toes. Ryan Van Vick, webbing. Yes. Syndactically. Is that what it's called medically? I'm gonna check. Syndastical. Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you so much, Durgesh and Lilia. So I'm syndactical. Syndactical is the correct medical pronunciation. Duck finger. We wouldn't really use like an animal term with this because it's quite offensive. So we'd say webbing, webbed fingers, or we have from Durgesh and Lilia, we have syndactyl, syndactyl. I think I'm probably not saying it right. A finger wrinkle. I don't know. There is a few wrinkles in that finger. What's the correct term for it? So we have it there in the chat. Durgesh and Lilia have graced us with. I'm probably not. I'm probably killing the pronunciation, but yeah, well done. Syndactyl, sir. This one is correct. Correct. Well done. Thank you very much. Great. Fantastic. We are down to our last slide, everybody. It's been a great day. What is the name of the dish? What is the name of this piece of equipment? Let me know in the chat for our final one. Octopus has tentacles, tentacles, not tentacles, tentacles. But the popular name is webbing. Yes, Kama, webbing. Webbed fingers, webbed toes. So yeah, Cornell, Petri dish, Stabworthy, Petri dish, Lilia, Petri dish, Jetty, Agar. Agar, you say that's the gum? Isn't agar gum? I don't know. Aaron Petri dish, Jagresh, Petri, Kama, Petri, AJ Kumar, mosquito family. It could be, but I think it's probably bacteria, probably, isn't it? And Rian is in with Petri dish. So yeah, well done. Petri dish. Easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. In USA, we pronounce it Petri. I would say Petri. Petri. In Europe, we just pronounce things better. I'm only joking. I'm joking. So, well done, everybody. That was a really nice quiz. A little bit tricky, I think, wasn't it? But tomorrow we'll be doing some easier ones. So let me know if you gave me a request already, because I've kind of forgotten everything. Let me know what you want me to do tomorrow. We should do geography. Oh yes, I knew I was supposed to do geography. Tomorrow it is geography. I'm so sorry. I was sitting earlier going, I think there's something I'm supposed to do. AJ, I'm sorry. I'll do geography tomorrow. And I have lots of geography videos on the channel. Lots of them are for student members and fan tier. But if you're mad into geography, I have about 10 or 11 geography videos. Geography on Australia, geography on Europe, river geography, mountain geography, geography for beginners, intermediate, advanced, everything. Interesting class. Hi from USA. Hi Sandra, thank you so much for joining. Hope you enjoyed and were able to learn lots of useful English. T Sega, hi to you. Glad you're here. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Durgesh, but I think it's a bit tricky. You know, I want the lives to keep getting better, and this one kind of people were dropping off a bit. So tomorrow might be a little bit easier. I'm not from USA, I'm from Germany. Thank you, Crinell, for clearing that up. My dog and I love watching your show. Beefy dog or hot dog. I'm coming. Jera, how was your shopping spree? I didn't go shopping afterwards. I had a really I was exhausted yesterday, like super super exhausted, and I did some bits and pieces, and then I fell asleep really early, and I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. and I was just lying in bed. I was like, I might as well start working. So I've been working since 4 a.m. this morning. So that's been my Diwali. Chemistry and physics terminology. Yes, yes, absolutely. So I still haven't gone. I'm going to probably go shopping on Thursday. So an update, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be in Glasgow visiting my friend. So I will probably not be on for those 3 days. If I can, I will come on Sunday at 4, but I probably won't be on for those 3 days. I'm going to have a few days off and I'll be back on Monday. I'm flying on Friday morning and I'm going to visit my friend, one of my best friends. I've known her for 20 years. I would do a live with her, but she's very shy. She's never going to come on. But if I can come on Sunday, I will, but just set notifications for the channel. But it's more than likely I will not be available and I'll be back on Monday. So just bear that in mind if you are anticipating that you'll be watching me during the weekend. I will not be around. I'm going to Glasgow. Hi Zoe, how are you? Thanks for joining. Can you tell Gerund with examples? Yeah, okay. Let me just take some notes. So we're going to do some geography tomorrow. Dum 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 dum. I'm going to actually write it in my calendar. Geography live. And then, okay, so tomorrow is geography. Then we are going to do on Wednesday chemistry and physics. And then we're going to do gerund on Thursday. Gerund with examples. I'm just taking notes. Okay, there we go. So that is the lineup for the rest of the week. We have for tomorrow, we're doing geography terms, and it'll be a little bit easier tomorrow. I think sometimes it was a bit too hard today, and I need more people to watch. I'm not doing this for nothing, people. I'm only joking. Okay, I enjoy your time. Thank you so much, Kama. I've been to this place before. It's Glasgow, so it should be good. Only I joined to say hello and bye at the same time. Thank you, Zoe. Thanks for dropping in and saying hello. I can't join you because of studying. Oh, that's okay. Good luck with your studies, Zoe. Sarah, how about you teach parts of speech one by one? What parts? What parts? We tend to do intermediate to advanced, so if you want to know specific areas, let me know and we'll do it. Also, check out the channel. Like I've done tons, 450 videos on everything, so make sure and check out the channel. Give me some hype as well. I learned a lot, teacher. Thanks, and media students. Very good. Thanks, Rianne. What do you mean media? Do you want me to do some media study stuff? I did do film in college, so I would know some of the technical stuff about media. Enjoy your Diwali, everyone. Thank you, AJ. Thank you so much. Medical. Yeah, medical stuff, absolutely no problem. Kama was in Aberdeen last month in the Highland Games. Wow, wow. I've been in Aberdeen a few times. My friend who lives in Glasgow now also lived up near Aberdeen. So I've flown into Aberdeen many times and into Inverness. So Scotland's a beautiful place, quite like the Irish, a little bit different, but quite the same. We're Celtic people. And yeah, I do like Scotland. And where my friend lives outside of Glasgow, it's quite nice and lovely. So yeah, yeah, so okay, so tomorrow is geography. Wednesday we're doing chemistry and physics, and Thursday we are doing gerund with examples. So, yeah, don't be afraid to ever suggest anything. I'm always looking for new ideas. Sometimes I'm sitting there like, what am I going to do today? I don't know. But yeah, it's always a pleasure. Sir, have you ever had Indian sweets? Yes, I have. My friend Avishit has given me some sweets. I just don't know the names of them. There was one which was, oh God, was it chickpea sweets? I'll have to get the names. Maybe I should buy some and do a taste test here with you guys. I gotta go. Bye, side. Thanks so much for being a part of today as usual. You gotta go for your prayer. Well, happy prayers to you. I want to cry because of studying, but I don't have time to cry. Oh, Zoe, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're having that stress. There's nothing worse than study stress. Arabica, thank you for the hearts. Rian, my mother is descendant of Britons of France. Wow, that's really interesting. I have a very interesting, ancestry. I have Viking blood, Irish blood. I even have a little bit of Arab blood inside me. I have 1% West Asians, which is very exciting. Which one is my favorite? I don't know the names, but I don't know the names of the sweets, Durgesh. I will find out, but I think there was one. The chickpea one was very good. I'll have to text my friend. AC/DC, Iron Maiden, or Motorhead? I think I'd have to go with AC/DC, definitely. I'm not good at names, but I do have a playlist. Actually, if you want, I can share my playlist. Does anyone on Spotify want my playlist? Let me just log into my Spotify. And of course, I password. I probably have to log into it now. So I'm going to share with you a playlist, one of my rock and roll playlists. And let me just see, 95341. So I love all types of music. So I plan to visit Ireland tomorrow. The topic can be some suggestions. As they say. Yeah, so tune in tomorrow, Kama, and at the end I'll do a Q&A in Ireland, and you can ask me anything you want. Sir, when you come to India, please come to our home. We'll be glad to have you as a worthy guest. Durgesh, that's so kind. Thank you. I might take you up on that. You never know. Yeah, I'd love to do a tour of India as Learning English Pro and do like a big concert about English or a big quiz. Wouldn't that be lovely? Absolutely, sir. Do. Yeah, I'm going to share. So I have a rock and roll playlist. So I will share it now. If you wanted to follow me, or this is quite a good one. It's I'll read out some of the people that are in it. I've Kiss, Joan Jett and the Black Hearts, T Rex, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, the Kinks, Creedence Clearwater. It's all quite classic rock. So I'm going to change the name so you can spot it easily. Learning English Pro Rock. So you're very welcome to join me on Spotify if you're on. I can publish some more of my playlists for you if you want. I think English and music is a great way to learn English. So that is that, and I'll pop in my YouTube handle. I must update it on the page if you want to follow me. I know some of you have followed me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok as well. I'm a bit more active on Instagram, so just drop me a follow. But yeah, check out my Spotify playlist. This is kind of one that I'm playing at the moment. I love AC/DC and all that. Can we learn more animal names? Yeah, absolutely. That was good fun that time, wasn't it? So maybe I'll double up some of these days and do both. So tomorrow, maybe animal names as well. Time to go. I'll join tomorrow again. Okay, Durgesh, happy Diwali. Have a great one. And if you're just tuning in, or you're an Indian follower, or you're celebrating Diwali today, happy Diwali. I hope you have a wonderful time with your friends and family. Very special day for you. So, yeah, guys, it is 5:45 here in Dublin, in Ireland. I have some more work to do. I'm going to continue working on my latest video, which is 20 medical phrases to sound more professional in medical English. Kama will have access to that early as a student member, and that will be coming later today. Might take a few hours, but it will be up by the end of today, and it will be available for public release tomorrow. If you want to have a look at it earlier, you can join my student membership for $4.99 a month. Great support for the channel, just like Kama. Eddie Hobby, who was here earlier, also a very valued student member. There's a few tiers. The student membership tier really gets you a lot. It gets you the PDF guides and access to all my PDF guides that I've ever published. So, yeah, that's it for today. Next up tomorrow, we're going to have geography and animal names, and it will be a tad bit easier. I think today and the last few days it's just been a bit too hard generally, so I want to make it a little bit easier. There'll still be some challenging ones in there, but yeah, PDF of the videos help a lot. Great, Kama, thank you so much for saying. Yeah, so with every video I publish a PDF which is available to my student members. It contains all the content from each lesson plus some additional glossaries and exercises to help you along your way. Have a good one. Thank you. No problem, Reham. Thank you so much. What time tomorrow, Sandra Khan? 4 p.m. GMT. I'm in Ireland, 4 p.m. Irish time. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Whichever the one that I don't know. I haven't. I literally haven't watched Ninja Turtles in 30 years. Um, I'm gonna say the one that eats pizza. I don't know which one that is. I just remember. I want. What's the rat called? Splinter. Splinter is my favorite. I'm gonna go with Splinter, or Shredder, or that brain in the body. I don't know any of these names anymore, but Shredder, yeah, Splinter. I don't know. The only cartoons I've watched recently are Marvel Zombies. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Okay, I'm waffling now. I'm just blathering on because, yeah, I want to stay and talk. But I do have lots of work to do. So, Kama, get ready for your early access to the new lesson coming up later. And there'll be probably another lesson out by the end of the week as well. Before I want to get another one out before I go to Glasgow. So, have a fantastic day. Tomorrow we have geography quiz and animal quiz, and it'll be a little bit easier. Might be a little bit too hard today, maybe. They all eat pizza. Do they? Well, then I love them all, but I'm going to stick with Splinter. Splinter, my rap buddy. They all eat pizza. So Stabworthy, I might see you on a walk on your live. Make sure everyone check out Stabworthy's lives. Check out the channel. Just click on the name and jump to the channel and give them a follow. Why not? And you can join them and their lovely dog for a walk. So, beefy dog, I'll be seeing you. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Everyone's dropping off and leaving, so it's time for me to go too. Tomorrow's going to be easier, geography and animal names. Thank you all so much. Have a fantastic day.